Okay, so now that we have the more balanced thoughts kind of worked out, um, like I said at the beginning of the meeting, the next step is to just work on maintenance, right? Or homework. So I want you to have some skills to take home with you so that you can just maintain like a better sense of self, a better, better self-esteem, and kind of work to negate that thought that causes so much distress. So I have a couple of things in mind, and I just want to hear your feedback on them because obviously, I'm not you and I don't know what will work best for you. And we want to set up things that you feel confident will, that you'll be able to do and that will actually be helpful. So the first thing that comes to mind, since a lot of the insecurity is prompted by something that your wife says or just like situations where you feel like maybe she thinks you're a bad dad. um I would like to, you know focus in on like activities that you guys can do as a family that involve um your wife seeing you in a positive light interacting with your son. I don't know how often you guys do that, and I'm not going to assume that you don't, but how would you feel about scheduling or having a once per week we're going to do this, go to the park, whatever, the three of us, and my wife can see like how I am with our son and things like that.
Well, we kind of already do that. We take them in the stroller to the park, and although he's still too young to like be, walking and playing and stuff. Um, just me taking time out of my, willing to go with them, in itself, I think speaks a lot. So we do try to do that once a week. Other than going to the park, we're not really trying to get out much with COVID and everything. But I don't know. I could do something like that. Plan something like that. Just having a family activity in the house or going to the park or something.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you guys already do that, so that's why I wanted to seek feedback. So we can shift. Like I said, I had a couple of ideas. We can you can work on evaluating your thoughts like we did, like kind of mini versions of what we did during the session today, so you don't necessarily have to fill out a whole like DTR or anything like that, but working to recognize when those thoughts pop into your head, writing them down, and just doing a quick, like, basically the evidence for, evidence against, and then new balanced thought. You don't have to do like the emotions and the percentage believed or anything like that, because I realize that's kind of time consuming. And yeah, but do you think you could implement something like that, like a couple of times a week? Or I guess it would be hard to schedule because you kind of have to go with where your thoughts take you. But do you think that that's something that you could implement at home?
Yeah, I think I could do something like that, just in my head, briefly evaluate that negative thought, in the situation. I think that's definitely doable. Do you think that it would be helpful to um, involve my wife in that so she kind of has a better understanding of kind of where those thoughts are coming from?
Look at that. I don't even know why I'm the therapist there, because that's a great idea. I think that would be really helpful for her to see kind of your thought process. And I would bet that she would be able to help you in coming up with evidence against things. So that might be kind of helpful to have a bouncing off person. So yeah, that's a great idea. And so we'll plan on doing that. But like I said, you can't really let's just hope that you'll be able to do that a couple of times or whatever within the next week. The other thing that I had, the other thought that I had was well, you said you've been doing a lot of reading on kind of COVID specifically, like what the right thing to do is with your baby and everything like that. But I wonder if it would be helpful to read about fatherhood and kind of the difficulties with that. And I don't know if you have any books on that, or but it seems like reading is kind of something that is already a part of your daily life. So it seems like it would be fairly easy to add in something that might ease your anxieties a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I always have a list of books on Amazon I want to read. So I could definitely look up a book on fatherhood. That's a great idea. I think that would be helpful as well.
Okay. Because I know there's tons out there. And I don't have any suggestions off the top of my head, but yeah, I think having that book, having something to refer to, take notes on, what speaks to you, what doesn't. Sounds like, you're from what I know about you, you're just a really rational guy who I think appreciates like logic and reasoning, and there are people a whole lot more qualified than me and a whole lot more eloquent than me to talk about fatherhood. So yeah, so we've got the book and maybe some mini thought evaluation things. You think those are pretty realistic homework assignments?
Yeah, I think I could do that. I don't know if I will buy a book until next session because we're kind of tight on our budget, but I could definitely shop around and look at the reviews, on Amazon and pick a couple out.
For sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, and do you have any other questions or concerns, thoughts on how the session went today? Anything at all?
No, not that I can think of. I appreciate all your help, and it definitely helped me kind of get this better sense of idea of how I'm doing as a father, and makes me feel much better actually. So thank you.
Good. Happy to help. Yeah, it's been a pleasure working with you. Okay.
All right.